Hi folks, this chapter is all about creating an aesthetic experience, remembering that your speech is an art form that you craft and create carefully and you deliver intentionally to an audience. So let's take a look. Well, I always like to take a moment to reflect on what's filling us and draining us today. Just centering ourselves allows us to focus in more and to look at the task at hand. So during this chapter, we'll discuss what aesthetics is, how to apply aesthetics in public speaking, how to create that aesthetic experience, as well as the role of attire and presentation in the aesthetic experience. So take a moment and think about the best teacher you've ever had, or maybe you've had many great ones. What made them great? How did they create that classroom environment? How did they present themselves? How did they speak? What words and language did they use? When you stop and think about strong speakers or presenters, think about, again, it's not just going to be one thing that sets them apart from others, but there's going to be a whole series of things that creates that really positive and engaging experience. I love this quote that says, "At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel." And that's what our aesthetics is all about. Aesthetics is defined, if you went straight to Google, as artistically valid or beautiful, pleasing in appearance. So we think about beautiful nature, serene, beautiful sunsets, and art itself. Think about what makes something aesthetically pleasing. Is it the colors? Is it how things blend together? Is it something inviting? So think about those sensations. And when we think about the aesthetic experience, this is the appreciation or art in beauty. It's the experience is a feeling that comes from the speaker itself. Our goal is to leave our audience captivated and energized by the ways in which we speak. Now, historically speaking, there has been a long tradition of elocution. Elocution, especially in the times like where Shakespeare was alive in the 1800s and the early 1900s, was something that was very much taught in schools. It was the art of delivering speeches. It was about how you say what you say in addition to what you actually say. Elocution is often criticized, though, today because it's very prescribed, and it doesn't deal with individuality or differentiation based on our experiences, our perspectives, and our location. Elocution is very, very formal, which is why I use the old book here. And again, it's really looking at there's only one right answer or one way to speak, one way to present. And that's really not the case with public speaking anymore, especially as we talk about public speaking for advocacy. There's been a great shift in public speaking, and it's rooted in rhetoric. So it's rooted in ethos, pathos, and logos, our style, which is how we craft those speeches and how we execute our word choice, delivery, how information is presented. And again, it's all about focusing on a clear message. And sometimes, which I like this illustration down here, is things can look really messy, and they have to be decoded to create a great idea. And public speaking really encourages us to use our own voices, our own perspectives to advocate for and to present our really strong messages. And so that's the difference between public speaking and elocution. Now, as we are presenting, we need to apply those aesthetics, verbally, non-verbally, with our visual aids and within our context. So we've got these checkpoints here, which is why I really like this image. Verbal delivery is about the language, the vivid storytelling, the emotions we weave into what we're saying. Our nonverbal delivery is body language and gestures and movements, our facial expression. Even the tone of our voice can be nonverbal. And then if we're going to use a presentation aid or not, that can be something that enhances our message or hurts our message. So these aesthetics are really important. Also, understanding the room, the setting, and how we can make the setting the most ideal that we can is really key. And when I think about great teachers, they're really great about setting the aesthetic within the room. And to get to that mic drop moment, creating that aesthetic experience is really powerful and important. It's all about the choices we make with those aesthetic elements that we just reviewed and how we think about the audience. think about, what do you do or what do you want the audience to do while they're listening to you speak? I liked this from the book, a pro tip. By focusing on what you can control, you can also reduce public speaking anxiety. By being prepared, you will minimize the probability of your nervousness as you speak as well. And the most important person or people in the room is not the speaker, it's the audience. And when you consider the audience in every aspect of the speech preparation and delivery, you're going to create an aesthetic that is appropriate and effective for them. As a speaker, building rapport with your audience is key. And as an audience member, you need to be supportive and listen with intent. And so that part, audience, we are also part of the aesthetic of the speaking experience. And I like this quote from Sally Hogshead that says, "You don't have to change who you are. You have to become more of who you are." And I think that's really important when it comes to public speaking. We all have different skills, backgrounds, stories to tell, and those stories can really impact our ability to deliver an incredible speech. So take some time, read Chapter 7, and I can't wait to see your next speech.